Hello everybody, MaroCup here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I go about building a team for my custom format MaroCup. Now before we get into this, I'm not going to be going over any competitive strategies or combos or anything like that. I'm just going to be showing you the basics of how I use the tools at my disposal to make building this kind of team as easy as possible. Now, I would highly recommend that you have this chart up on your screen, or at least visible to you somehow. Whenever you're building a team, it does make things a lot easier. Now, there are two ways that I go about building a team. One of them has to do with PV spread, which we'll come back to that whenever I get to it. And the other one is my preferred method, and that's just building a team based on your favorite Pokemon. So the way I would go around building a team based on my favorite Pokemon is we're going to go over here to Team Builder, hit New Team, and then add Pokemon. Alright, so it brings you to this screen. I'm going to search for some of my favorite Pokemon. So my two favorite Pokemon are Galvantula, who happens to be an RU, and Roserade, which is also RU. Look at that. So Galvantula and Roserade are two of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So these are both RU, meaning they clock in at 5 PV. So together they make 10 PV. So I now have 20 PV. I now have 30 PV to build the rest of my team out of. So that means I could do 2 RU, I could do 2 more, and then 2 UU, right? That's 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, so I could do 2 more RU and 2 more UU. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna do all their stats and all that for now because I'm just showing you how I build a team. I'm gonna try and find some Pokemon that would complement Galvantula and Roserade. Actually, I am gonna go ahead and do their stats real quick. Moving on. So now I have 2 RU, right? RU? Yeah, RU. Now I need more RU. So normally I would go ahead and I would think about it, like, oh, what's a good strategy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna get into that right now. One thing you can do is you can actually just go ahead and type RU right here, and it'll bring up tiers filter. So you click that, and now you have it sorting to just RU Pokemon, and that's gonna help a lot. So I can just scroll down this list, sort of think like, okay, what do I want to use? If you have a specific Pokemon in mind and you want to check to see what their tier is, so I'm gonna look up Lapras. Lapras is actually a PU Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So instead of Lapras, I'm actually going to go with Cloyster here, because Cloyster is the same typing, but this crazy defensive stat is going to make him really useful. So I'm going to go ahead and boost that. Alright, so I went ahead and set Cloyster up real quick, so he's just going to be some interesting lead. And then we need one more RU, so let's go back to that RU filter here. I'm personally very partial to Machamp, so here is Machamp. Alright, so I went ahead and set up Machamp real quick, and now I have enough room for 2 underused Pokemon. So now we're going to come back to this little Pokemon thing. I'm going to type in UU for the tiers filter, and here we have access to all of the UU Pokemon that we can choose from. So I really like Volcanion, so why not? Let's throw in a Volcanion. And I'm actually not going to bother setting them up anymore because this is not a team I'm going to be using. And back to the UU. And let's see, I don't have a Mega Evolution yet. What UUs are in... Oh, Houndours and underused? Interesting. Now obviously you don't need to have a Mega Evolution on your team. I'm just doing it because I don't know, why not? I don't know why I'm setting this up. Alright, so that is how I would go about building a team based on some of your favorite Pokemon. Another way you could go about doing this is instead of just doing these, just look up more of your favorites. So like Rhyperior, he is also RU. Perfect. Okay, so those are like, that's literally my 3 favorite Pokemon. Let's see here. Who else is in Metagross? He is underused. There you go. You don't even have to use the Mega Evolution Metagross. So there's another. What's another favorite Pokemon of mine? I know Garchomp is one of my favorites, but he's overused, so I'm not going to be able to use him, unfortunately. Let's look at the UU tiers and just look for another favorite somewhere in here. Oh, Hydreigon is another favorite of my Pokemon. So like, so far I've used nothing but some of my favorite Pokemon. And now I need one more rarely used, because it's gonna get me right up to that 40 mark. So let's see. What in rarely used is like some of my favorite Pokemon. Oh, hello, there's Machamp again. I love Machamp. He was like, when I was a kid, he was my favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 and 2. So, here is a team I just built out of nothing but my favorite Pokemon. 2 UU and 4 RU. So, that's one way you can go about building a team. I am actually going to save this team because this is dope, and I'm going to use it. Moving on from that, the other way I mentioned is by PV spread. So what I mean by PV spread is how you, before you go into building a team, you decide how you want to spread out your PVs. Do you want one OU? Because if you're going to use an OU, you have to plan the rest of your team around that, because you can only use one, and that's already half of your PV. Do I want a couple UU and a bunch of whatever else? So a bunch of RU, I guess the team I just built. You plan that first. And that, you know, that's viable. You can do that instead of choosing your favorite Pokemon. That's all right. On screen right now, it's a couple of what I think are the best PV spreads, because these use OU and UUs, and they're as close to that maximum allotted PV you're allowed to have as possible. So we have as close to 40 as you can get. They're all like 40 or 39. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one, because this one has one of each tier, and that'll just, you know, let you see what I'm gonna do with it. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep into strategy. I'm just gonna show you how you can use these tools in order to find the Pokemon that you're looking for. So we need one OU to start with. So what I would do is I would take a look through, I mean, OU's right here at the top. I'm gonna go ahead and type OU. There you go. So OU, just so I'm looking at only OU's Pokemon. I would go ahead and look for an OU Pokemon that you like and think you can build a team strategy around. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Garchomp, because I mentioned earlier he is one of my favorites. So, gonna go ahead and pick Garchomp, and now we need a UU Pokemon. So let's go ahead and look at UU again. And pick, I'm gonna pick one of my favorites from here. Let's see, Volcanion. Volcanion is fantastic. I've had so much fun using him lately. Now we need an RU, so I'm gonna go ahead and type RU here. And pick one of my favorites real quick. Now, by this point, you generally have a decent structure around your first two Pokemon. You could use RU to sort of pick a Pokemon that would complement those. Again, you don't have to. That's not a requirement or anything. I'm gonna go ahead and pick my Lotic, just because why not? So now we need to pick a never used filter. So here are all the never used Pokemon. Guzzlord's pretty cool, and he just recently got promoted to never used, so I'm gonna go ahead and use him. And now we need 2 PU Pokemon, which does not stand in for anything. It is just a joke on PU. They smell bad. They're so bad they smell. So, let's see here. So the thing about PU is it is actually the largest tier, because unfortunately there are just a lot of Pokemon that aren't competitively viable. Just power creep over the years have really not been kind to them. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Drampaw, because Drampaw is awesome. And we need one more PU Pokemon. So let's go ahead and back to this PU filter. And what do we want? Okay, so I actually switched both of my PU to Electivire and Magnetar, because they're some of my favorite Pokemon. And they're really cool. So, that's how I would go around using the tools that I have available to me in Pokemon Showdown to easily find the Pokemon in the tiers that I need. I hope this helps some of y'all. I hope this helps you get interested in MaroCup a little more. I hope this helps you theorycraft a little more and blah 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 blah. Because MaroCup so far has been really fun. It's been a really interesting format. I have... Oh, anytime you're battling in MaroCup, you're going to go to Gen 7 OU. And in Team Builder, whenever you're building the team, you can just select the format to Gen 7 OU. I should have said that earlier. But it's not really necessary. Whenever you're battling someone, like, You can just go to other teams, show all teams, and it'll show you the name of all your teams. I have quite a bit. I have a lot of teams. I like building teams when I'm bored. Anyway, like I said, I hope that helped you put together your MaroCup team. Thank you for watching, and until next time, everybody, Zematrix signing out.